Well, now do you see all of that down there? Well, that, my friends, my good friends, is what we're going to end up with now. This is my palace. Yes, this is my stone palace, baby. And look at this. It is a monument in stone. You know, Superman had his ice house where he'd go and sit down and have a daiquiri with some ice, and he'd think about all manner of things. Well, now look at mine. I built this stone by stone, and now look at this architecture. That's amazing, isn't it? Oh, some guy named Ben was here. Trespassing. I don't like that much, but if I catch that Ben, he's going to be in trouble. But now just look at my place here. People are so taken by this thing that I had to go along and I constructed this big expansion bridge. I built that by hand, no helpers, just so people could come by and see me in my stone palace with all these chains guarding the place. Look at that expanse. That took me about a month and a half, but I did it. So listen. Now, I believe if I am able to, I'm going to change the polarity here. Do it while you're shooting. So I might have to turn it around and film myself like this, which I'd rather not do, but these are the things that happen. It's the fortunes of war. Now look at all of that down there. See, that gives me my solitude up here in my palace. And this is where I recharge my batteries, or so to speak. Now let's see. I still got my girl with me, Illusionary bargain. We're going to have to be saying goodbye. And that's a shame in and of itself. I'm wearing my shades so I can be a cool guy for at least a second time here. And I'm seeing, let's see now, is this thing still going? Yes, it is. So you got a good look at my palace here. Now, what I want to tell you, I got a couple more things I want to tell you. Now, one of the things, and I'm hoping you're seeing me here in my natural habitat, but you know, I've been telling you about politics and religion and psychology and all of those big ticket items there, but you know, a lot of important stuff is just our human relations. Remember I was telling you about lies and whether you should lie or people lie and secrets? Well, there's a lot of other stuff I go into, and it's very important because it, you know, I mean, your time and your life and your money can depend on your interaction with other people. So this is important stuff. So I'm just going to give you a few quick ones here. But if I was you, I would make a list of 10 or 20 things you want to do with your life. You got to write them down and then you do it. It's like me. I have a list and I go right down them lickety split. When I'm done with that, I make another list. Because if you don't, they don't get done. And another thing, you're listening to a lot of people giving you a lot of advice all over the place. That's fine, but make an assessment of those people. Are they smart? Should you be listening to them? Most people are dumb as stumps, but you take a lot of advice from them. You're the smartest one in the room, which you may or may not be, but if that's what you determine, you shouldn't be listening to all these other people. Take your own advice. Figure things out for yourself. And I'm going to tell you another one. This is just one I like. Ava Gardner was Frank Sinatra's main love, and she was a sex symbol and a sex goddess. You know what she called the title of her book? Autobiography, which means she wrote it herself or at least had a ghostwriter. She said, love is nothing. Love is nothing. And you know, coming from a sex symbol, I thought that was pretty prophetic. What say you? I'm going to give you a couple other tips when you're dealing with these human critters so you don't go too far under the waves. If you got a mouse in your head, and I think most people do, you should use it as little as possible. You know, you heard that story of the Sphinx, and he doesn't talk too much. Try to be like that. Most people shooting their mouth off all the time, and they dig their own graves with their teeth. Don't say too much in this world. You must keep yourself out of a lot of problems just by being a strong, silent type. And another one that I found out, and I'm telling you, this thing never fails. It sounds like a corny thing to say, and why am I even wasting time with it? But waiting, delaying. This is a very important concept. You get bad news on Monday and you're blowing your top and you're going crazy. No. You give yourself 2 or 3 days to calm down, to think clearer. And a lot of times, it's like on Monday you get this news, on Thursday, you don't even remember what the problem was because you don't even want it anymore. You say, why do I want that dumb thing? Or you figured out another way around it, or the problem that came up on Monday doesn't take anything from you. It solves itself. It doesn't need any of your great brain work on it. So when you delay, it opens up, you start to think, your emotions get taken out of it. Never react immediately to anything. Wait, delay. These things many times solve themselves. Now, let's see, what else? I think all of this stuff is important. When you're out in the business world, people are going to be taking advantage of you if they can. So try to know what you're doing. Here's another one. Now, this is an old one that everybody said and everybody knows, but I still have to say it. Anytime you're treating people with kindness, they're going to mistake that for weakness. And I can tell you for a fact that's true. Very sorry to say, but that's the way that goes. Now, there's some other ones, but I can't get into them all. But this is going to be the last one in this series. Now, the purpose of this book, like I say, was to be an illusion-busting book. Now, I've done the best I can with that on the big things and the small things. It really transforms your life if you'd read it and implement it. But now, parting is such sweet sorrow, and we're going to have to say goodbye. But you know what? I write other things. I have that Kevin and Chris show. And as I said, in case you came in late, this is a character I play on that show. This isn't really me. So if you think you like the guy here, you're going to go crazy for my real self. So you're going to have to check me out on my show. So buy the book. You're going to learn from it. I'm writing other books. I may be coming to a coliseum near you. And so one last thing I want to do. You remember my girlfriend here, the blonde. I told you, I think, that we did meet, but she just didn't live up to my standards. I'm weird that way, but what I'm going to do now, because I consider this, and bye-bye, I consider this baby the book of truth. It's the book of truth. That's all I can say. It's a cliche buster. So now I'm going to go around like this. I'm going to grab this baby like that. There. I'm going to take my book, as you can see, there's the pages, and I'm going to, as I let my fans go by there, they're all coming by to see me, and sometimes they lollygag a little. But I'm going to take this book, and I'm going to throw it to the bottom of the canyon and to watch it go now. There it goes. Didn't quite make it to the bottom of the canyon, but you at least know the intent was there. And what I want to happen to that book is I want it to a tree to grow up over it, and the tree roots to go right into that book. And that'll be a tree of knowledge long after I'm gone from this planetary nightmare we call the Earth. Sorry to be negative, but I can only go by what I've seen. I wish I could say different. I really do. I wish the Earth was a lot better place for us all. It doesn't work out that way many times. But in any event, that's the deal. I want that to spring up long after I'm gone. That's going to be a tree of knowledge right below my palace of stone. Anytime you're feeling low, you come to my palace of stone, and I'm going to get that bend, I'll tell you that. There's going to be a tree of knowledge growing up out of there. And you can come to it, and you can meditate, and you can pray, and you can look at the beautiful canyon. This is all my property. I'm going to leave it to the people. That's my bridge. Don't do anything on that bridge. One time I saw a guy drive up here. He walked to the middle of the bridge, and he jumped right off. And I watched him go and plop right on the bottom. Now, please don't do that. That disturbed me. I was having my lunch. I couldn't have my lunch for the rest of the day. It was all. But you're going to have this tree down here below my palace of stone, and that will live forever. And that will be where you can come and get restored. You can pray if you have a mind to do that. You can meditate. You can pick some of the fruit off of the tree. I think it's going to be razzleberries and kumquats. I don't know, but that's what I believe. So now I'm going to sign off on this book, but look for me. I'm going to be all over the place with books and tapes meant to edify you in this trying world. And so now, as we look at this beautiful scene down below, I'm going to kiss it all off. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to wish you good thoughts. And friend, I will see you again